Hey everyone, I'm Steven with Scenes in Nature. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a cool winter habitat on this duck face. But of course, these techniques can be used for any kind of winter habitat. We're going to get started, and the first product we're going to use is going to be our UV resin in our UV flashlight kit. And so, what we're going to do is we're just going to make some icicles. Now, I like my icicles kind of coming off of the low points, because that's where that water would run off and it'd form into icicles. And so to do that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use our flashlight, UV flashlight and UV resin. And I'm just going to start right here on this one. And all I'm going to do is just put a drop on here. And then as it starts to run, I'm just going to stop it and freeze it in place. Just like that there. And I'm going to keep these fairly short. I don't want to look like it's built up too much. Hopefully you can see that. It's really that easy. Then after that, I'm just going to cure this out just a little bit, make sure it's good. And then I'm going to move on to the next one. So the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to go right in here, because again, this is a nice low point, and so I'm able to put that on there. Just going to drip that resin onto it. Sometimes that first drop likes to drip off of there. And then as it comes down and it starts to drip off, just freeze it in place. Now, sometimes you'll notice I got kind of a little thin spot there. I can just add a little bit more to it and thicken that up just by freezing it in place where I really want it. One more little drop. Now, one thing that's so cool about this product is it's actually going to stay a little bit flexible, so you don't have to worry about these getting broke off in the customer's house. So from there, I'm just going to kind of keep moving. I'm going to add a few more in. I'm going to go ahead and hit this one right up here at the top, because again, it's a low spot. I think it looks good. Just like that. Do another one right up here. Okay, so one thing to note too is here you can see this one got kind of long on me. So if I don't like that, I can always just cure this out a little bit, grab some scissors before I'm done and just cut that off to whatever length that I want. And it's really hard to even tell that you cut it. Kind of like that right there, and then I'll just cut this little part off down there at the end. And we'll go ahead and do one right in this area. I think that'll look really good. Pretty good. We'll move up here to the top, put a couple up here. And what you'll notice that I'm doing is I'm using that edge of that flashlight, I'm holding it just right below, and as it starts to run, then I'll put that light right on it just to get it to freeze. So we'll go right up here at the top. I'll just leave that one kind of small. I like that. And maybe do one more right in this area right here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop there as far as big icicles go. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take it and I'm just gonna kind of make it all look like it has just a small layer of ice on it, just by taking my resin tools and just smoothing it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that next. All right, so like I said, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and make all of this look just a little shiny. And the easiest way I found to do that is just to take a little bit of it, of the UV resin, make kind of a bead, and then just take our resin tools and kind of smooth it out. Doesn't have to be perfect, ice isn't perfect. And again, we're just trying to make it look a little shiny on top as if ice is set there. And then after I get it the way I want it, just take my UV light and just hit it on there and cure that out. Now, one thing I didn't mention is you can actually make big icicles as well. So if you want to make them really long, of course I can do that just by continually at it. Another thing you can do if you want a really big icicle that's long and thick, take just a clear acrylic rod, kind of put a point onto it, and then you can work this UV resin off of it and you'll still get all this cool little variation, all that stuff, but you don't have to use so much UV resin. And so now we kind of already have that shiny, we're gonna go and just kind of do a little bit more of that. Smoothing this out on the top side of this. Nothing too crazy, just to make it look like the whole thing has got just a small layer of ice built up on the top edge. And we'll cure that. And then rinse and repeat, same thing until we're done here. We'll go ahead and move up into this upper part. I like to work in kind of small sections just to kind of keep it from running and dripping. But if the limb was a little bigger where I don't have to worry about that as much, I go and put a little bit more on there and work in a little bit bigger section. Here to this top little limb section. Now, one thing to keep in mind is whatever side kind of the show side is going to be. So like in this case here, I'm kind of working on the back side of it. And so I want to make sure I get plenty up here on this front side to where the animal's actually going to be. I'm just going to add a little bit more on this vertical piece here on both sides so that I don't miss that. All right, and then just a little bit more down here, and I'm gonna call this good for the ice. And it's okay to let it kind of run down in here in the thicker parts, because that's kind of what it would actually do. The water would be running off of the rest of the branch and kind of build up. And so if you get some runs in there, that's not a problem, because that's how water will actually act. And so then I'm just gonna cure this out, making sure I'm pretty happy with the look. And this is just a really quick, easy way to add some icicles. Of course, I could add a whole bunch of icicles to this whole thing and really make it look really icy and really heavy. And like I said, one thing that's so cool is they stay nice and flexible, so they're not gonna get broken off. It's also UV resistant, and so it's not gonna turn yellow on you over time, and so your customer's gonna have it in their house. It's gonna look good for years to come. So that's it. So now we're ready to move on to the next step. I'm just gonna kind of clean some of my mess up, and then we'll move on after that. All right, so what I've done is I went ahead and kind of reset the table a little bit here. I also added just a little bit more ice to it and cut off that one that I told you that if I didn't like the looks of it, I could cut it off. And as you can tell, you can't even tell where I cut it. And so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move on. We're gonna add a little bit of snow to this. And so we're gonna use our snow flake as well as our snow dust. And to attach it, we're gonna use our Habitat adhesive. Now, this adhesive is going to go on white and dry to a clear matte finish. And I'm actually going to try to kind of target where I want my snow to be, just so that if I get some snow where I don't want it, I don't have to worry about going ahead and gluing it down. I'm not stuck with it. And so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I shake up my glue really well. And I'm going to go ahead and just spray it down in this area here. And so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of lightly spritz this, mainly in the area that I want it, of course, trying to not get it everywhere. And then I'm gonna use the snow flake, which is gonna be the bigger one, and you can see that here. It looks really nice. And I'm just gonna sprinkle this down into that adhesive. Now, in my case, I'm not trying to build up a super thick snow. I worked really hard on this rock. I wanna make sure I can still see it. And so I'm not trying to make any like snow drifts or anything like that. I just want it to be a light dusting of snow. And that's looking pretty good. And then I think I'm gonna go ahead and do some up in this area as well. So again, just kind of same thing, just repeat it. I'm gonna just spritz it with the Habitat adhesive. You can go on white, dry, clear, matte finish. Sprinkle the snow in there, leaving some open rock showing. I really think that looks nice. And just kind of give it a little dusting here and there. And I'm just going to kind of keep working around this base here. Again, I really like the looks of the rock, so I'm not going to cover up the whole thing, but and then what I like to do with the snow dust is I kind of like to feather it out from that snow flake, where that's really kind of more bigger snow flakes and everything. That snow dust is going to look like it's just a real small dusting of snow. And so I'm just actually going to take that and just kind of sprinkle some of that around that snow, create just a little transition. It's going to help kind of fill it in just a little bit too, give it a nice white look without just completely covering it up. And with this one, a little goes a long ways. It doesn't take much to really get that nice transition that you're looking for here. All right. Then from there, we're just going to go ahead and go back to our Habitat adhesive, spray this whole thing down again, seal all this in place really well. And again, if you get it on something that you didn't necessarily want it to be on as far as the Habitat adhesive goes, don't worry, it's going to dry clear matte finish. It's not gonna be a big deal. All right guys, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and wait, let this dry. I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna spray it at least once, if not 2 more times. That way I know I get the snow glued down really well. So then when it's in a customer's house, if they need to dust it, they don't have to worry about knocking their snow off. So I really wanna make sure I get that adhered well. Then in the next video, be sure to come back and watch, because I'm gonna go ahead and put a water feature into this kind of this cavity here, and I'm gonna add some ice shards into it. It's gonna be really cool and really bring this base to life. So you're not gonna wanna miss that. And of course, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And for more product knowledge, go to scenesinnature.com. Thanks so much for watching.